welcome to the Walking Twat of Norway, which is, I guess, kind of a traveler's log, I guess. Because yeah, I have a trip towards Norway and Sweden, and well, the Walking Twat of Norway sounds pretty good even though I'm currently in Sweden. So, first day, it started way too bloody early. Well, actually, it started around, well, I was still awake around 12, around midnight. That was when I finally started uploading my second channel anniversary. That just then finished rendering, which will be going live in 3 days. And then I took a nice sleep of less than 3 hours, and then I had to get up again and, well, head to the airport. And so there I was, way too bloody early, and I got on the trip. Hooray! And I got into Oslo. Also hooray! And then there was no one from my trip. Yeah, you wanna talk about panic? That's some serious panic. Just, okay, here you are, on your own, in a different country, and there is no one. Now, I'm not the type of person who likes to panic. It doesn't really get you anywhere. But by God, did I have to really suppress it. Normally I don't panic. Here, I actively didn't panic. Luckily, I found out that the people who were there to pick us up would arrive around midday, just, I don't know, 12 PM I guess? Just the exact middle of the day. That was around 9 AM. It was going to take 3 hours before any of them showed up. So, okay, now what? What do you do when apparently not everybody had the same flight, and you have to wait for 3 hours for anybody? Well, I would have liked to say that I started writing a lot for my D&D campaign that I'm writing even though I've never played D&D. And I kind of did. What I also did was sleep a lot. Just kind of passing out for about 10 minutes at a time, because, hey, you need to also be awake enough that people don't steal your stuff, or at least that they can't steal your stuff. But, yeah, I had less than 3 hours of sleep that night. I kind of added, I don't know, maybe 2 more hours. And then the people showed up. Hooray! And the group seems pretty nice, which is bloody awesome, because this is the first time I'm taking a group trip like this. Or at least the first time I'm taking a group trip like this that's actually for just a group of people and not for families. And my biggest worry was that I wouldn't have anyone to talk with, which would be kind of terrible. But no, instead they're nice people. Awesome. Very different types of people. We have the artist types, we have other programmers. We have people who are in the army, which is just... The army always is very bad in my mind. The army is where you go if you can't go anywhere else. Now that's probably close-minded of me, and it's the other extreme towards what America has with their, oh, the military is bloody awesome. Because I don't see them as bloody awesome. But I probably go to find the other extreme. And yes, I know, my philosophy is don't go in any extreme. And I try not to actively being that, but... well, I don't see a goddamn reason why you would want to go into the army. I mean, that probably has to do also a lot with me, because one of those things that I enjoy doing is think a lot, way too much. And if there's one thing the army teaches you, at least to the average person, it's obey. Just, we give orders, you obey orders. My mentality of asking why probably wouldn't be appreciated very much. Just, soldier, do this thing. Why? I don't think I would, I don't think I would be the favorite soldier of anyone. But yeah, fun group. We are camping, kind of, mostly. It's just kind of sad that we are not allowed to make a fire, because, well, the area is apparently stupidly dry. So if we make a fire, it would easily set off a huge forest fire, and then, well, we wouldn't have a campfire, but we would have a camp on fire. And it's getting cold, but not dark. Because, well, Norway is pretty far up, and yes, Sweden is pretty far up as well. We're not above the pole circle. The sun will set at some point. But a quarter before 11 apparently isn't that point just yet. It supposedly will get dark at 11, but well, yes, the land has gotten pretty dark. There is no sun shining anymore on just the trees on the hills anywhere, at least not really. But the sky is still lit up. So this means that sadly we can't watch the stars very well just yet. And where apparently it's been stupidly hot, well, it has been stupidly hot in the Netherlands, and apparently it was equally stupidly hot over here. Sadly, that's apparently going to shift, so tomorrow we should expect terrible weather. It's not certain that it will come, but we should be able to expect it. And of course I forgot something. I mean, most things I got covered. For a large part, thanks to my awesome parents who they're just way too bloody awesome. I mean, I probably don't say it enough, but they really are bloody awesome. There was one thing I forgot. I don't have a pillow. So I guess I'll be sleeping on my arms. Luckily for me, that's something I generally do anyway. Sometimes there's just a pillow between them, but I can sleep probably just fine on just my arms. So yeah, that's how this holiday starts. That's how this trip starts. Getting up way too early, with way too little sleep, because I wanted to finish another video. But otherwise it started pretty good. So, I'll see you in the next one. I have no idea yet how I'm going to make these videos, if it's going to be a daily thing or a weekly thing, or if I'm going to just string them all together in one huge video. I have no idea yet. This has been Phoenix, saying farewell. So, Walking tWTiN in Norway 1 edition. I just realized that I'm not the only one who does kind of this. There is another dude who writes stuff down about the trip. Of course, I'm dyslexic. I generally don't write for pleasure, and I very rarely read for pleasure. Of course, you did hear in the previous section that I do sometimes write for pleasure. I mean, all my scripts are written out, and I'm writing down the stuff for that D&D campaign. But, well, I don't write when I want to tell a story. When I want to tell a story, I tell a story. Just like this, I'm actually telling it. When I write something down, I want to have meticulous details. For instance, with that D&D campaign, I want to just write every detail down. Currently, it's split up into a section about the main race. How the main race came into being. How the state came into being. How the state isn't generally normally run on a day-to-day basis. And currently I have the basics of the campaign. There will probably be the categories early campaign, end campaign, and side quests, which might replace the original main campaign. Just add options. That way, another story that is related to the backstory of a character can be introduced without feeling probably too weird. And, well, it's just... options are good. Options mean that this world feels alive. if there's just one thing you can do, well, that feels wrong. But when I just kind of give you a notice board of, look, these things can be done, and kind of... I mean, I have multiple ways that I would like to use to get you towards a certain point. To get you to work towards the main campaign type of thingy I thought up. Which, I'm still working out the... Well, no, I'm not even working out the details. I'm still working out the broad strokes. Just, I have the idea of, hey, there is an currently incurable disease that needs to be cured, because obviously, and if it can't get cured, then there will be war between the country you are from and this country, but I have no idea how it's going to be cured, why the disease exists in the first place, just all that type of stuff. But yeah, I have multiple ways of getting people to work on that campaign, but something else could also become the campaign if they don't feel like doing that. Plenty of fun things I can do. But yeah, I thought it was interesting how different I look at just telling a story towards writing something down, where telling a story is when I want to tell something, and I write something down when I want to give detail. And I thought it was interesting that I apparently do the same thing as somebody else, although I don't think he will publish it, but in a completely different medium. I thought that was interesting. It probably wasn't. But yeah, this has been tWTiN saying farewell.